Okay, so today we are going to discuss about parasympathetic nervous system, and this parasympathetic nervous system plays a very important role for our relaxation and our rest. So we have two different kind of nervous system. One is sympathetic nervous system, and just the opposite is parasympathetic nervous system. It's not exactly opposite, it's complements each other. So when one nervous system is switched on, another one is off, and when another one is switched on, the other one is off. Okay, and we all know, like, our human body is nothing less than um, you know uh, a miracle. I mean, if you look at our body, and if we get a cut, if we get a wound, the body has the capacity to heal automatically, right? So even if our bone, if our bone gets fractured, we have a little crack, we have a cut by a knife, maybe when we are chopping some vegetables or fruit, automatically it heals. We don't need to do anything, because healing is the natural state of a human body. Not only human body, even other species as well. So just like the in our physical body, the healing is automatic. Okay, it's a natural state. Our emotional healing is also automatic. Okay, and parasympathetic nervous system plays a major role in our emotional healing as well, right? And what happens when we are faced with any kind of stress, when we are faced with any kind of anxiety? Our sympathetic nervous system gets activated, and it's basically fight or flight response. And this is, we all know, there is a small organ inside our brain which we call amygdala. Okay, and amygdala is a most primitive part of our brain. So even when we were hunters, food gatherers, or we were just cave dwellers, this amygdala played a very significant role. So we used to have wild animals attacking, and the amygdala used to give a signal. Now either we have to fight or we need to run away. Now we don't have fear of wild animals. Now the threat has been very sophisticated. Yes, there are threats, but this amygdala, it's still very overactive sometimes, and it shows us danger even though there is no danger, right? Even for some trifling reason, we get stressed, we get anxious, we get panicked, we had a panic attack because of this amygdala and this sympathetic nervous system. And it is very important for our survival. I mean, without sympathetic nervous system we cannot survive. At the very same time, without parasympathetic nervous system we cannot survive. So what happens, um, the, the parasympathetic nervous system is basically a network of nerves that relaxes our body after a period of stress, or a period of any kind of emergency. So maybe our blood pressure increases, maybe our heartbeat increases when our sympathetic nervous system is working. And after that, to balance it out, the parasympathetic nervous system take the leads, and our blood pressure lowers down, our heart rate decreases, and we return to the natural state, the relaxing state. So, and that is why parasympathetic nervous system, or PNS, is also known as rest and digest. I mean, there are many functions in the body which are automatic. We don't have to regulate, or we don't have to control. Like, And that is why it is also known as automatic nervous system, or ANS. Like controlling our heart rate, we don't say our heart, or we don't consciously control our heart. It control our blood pressure, it helps us digest and other functions. And this parasympathetic nervous system says that you are safe, you are in control, don't panic. But the sympathetic nervous system, they said, you are in danger. It shows a high alert. It makes our brain, into a high alert that now you have to fight or you have to run away from the threat, from the dangerous situation. So this is how the brain circuitry gets switched on and switched off. When parasympathetic nervous system is switched on, the sympathetic nervous system takes a backseat, and vice versa. So, and that is the reason, sometimes we react than responding. Because the reaction is very emotional in nature, driven by, immediate feelings or emotions, our sudden anger, our, maybe we are overwhelmed with some situations, maybe we had some past incident, or even because of our subconscious mind. So when we are reacting, it basically comes from our amygdala. And amygdala does not care about long-term consequences. Amygdala does not think about long-term thing. It just deals with the immediate threat. But when we are responding to a person, and we all go through difficult situations in our life, life is not fair, like Buddha said that we all are suffering. So we all go through ups and downs, good days and bad days. Not every day is a rainbow and sunshine. So sometimes we had a bad day at office. We had some difficulties in relationships. We had some fight with our family members or our neighbors. And it happens with all of us. I mean, no one, no one can say that he, uh, does not have, or she does not have this kind of situation. So, but what happens? Most of the time we react, and this react sometimes are automatic in nature. We cannot control ourselves. It is not our fault. It is just the we have conditioned our brain to react immediately, giving the response. And at that particular point of time, our amygdala is in control. But when we are thinking about long term, when we are making a good decision, then our prefrontal cortex is in action. So prefrontal cortex is just like parasympathetic nervous system, so which thinks about the different alternatives, and it evaluates different alternatives. It thinks about the long-term consequences. So we should always respond and not react, and respond coming from our prefrontal cortex and not amygdala. So we got to know a little bit about neuroscience and the brain structure which is involved for our reaction and response, and parasympathetic nervous system and sympathetic nervous system. Now the question is how we can control, or how we can activate the parasympathetic nervous system, because we know sympathetic nervous system is when we are going through stress, when we are going through survival mode, right? um, when we are going through some kind of emergency situation, okay? And the moment we are over with that situation, the body should come into the natural state, the parasympathetic state. Otherwise we will have many physical issues, not only physical issues, even some brain related issues, some mental health issues. These kind of things can come. So now we are going to discuss a little bit about how we can activate this parasympathetic nervous system and how we can take the control. Now the good news is it's not only medicines. Yes, if it is out of control, we are stressed all the time, very frequently we are having a panic attack, then definitely we have to seek professional support. We have to go to psychiatrist or we have to go to psychologist for counseling. But there are some practices that help regulate our nervous system, and we can practice them every day. So first thing is we need to find out something that help regulate our nervous system. The first thing is you know uh, any kind of mild exercise. Okay, I'm not talking about hundred of push-ups or going to gym and spending 2 hours, 3 hours. Even the mild exercise activates this PNS, like Tai Chi, some freehand exercise, walking for a few minutes every day, yoga. Okay, meditation and mindfulness plays a major role in activation of PNS, and that is the reason. Yeah, Liz, definitely. I'm also recording the session, and I can share the link later on for all of you. And meditations or mindfulness, is very important for activating this PNS. So that is why we have seen that when we meditate or when we practice mindfulness, we feel a sense of calm. We feel that automatically our heartbeat becomes normal, our blood pressure becomes normal, uh, and we go into the state of relaxation. And sometimes we become so relaxed, even sometimes we sleep. Yeah, you know, many people they have seen that when they are in meditation, they feel they fall asleep. Because of this reason, we enter into a state of calm, we enter into a state of deep relaxation, because that parasympathetic nervous system gets activated. We can also do deep breathing. Okay, and there is a reason that people say that when you are nervous, when you are get stressed, you should do some deep breathing. Maybe when you are going for the interview, maybe it is the first time in your life, or maybe later also you get panicked, so you should do some deep breathing. And there is a reason for that, why people say that do some deep breathing. Because when we are taking some deep breaths, what happens, it brings more oxygen into our blood. And this more oxygen rich blood flows to our brain, and that actually improves our mental clarity, our focus, and our cognitive functions, right? And this deep breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, and it takes us out from the sympathetic nervous system. So just few minutes of deep breathing leads us to the sense of calm and relaxed state, and it gives the signal to the body that you are safe, right? You are not in danger, you are safe. And it reduces heart rate, and it also reduces blood pressure. So deep breathing is a kind of a grounding exercise. So even before any session, class, meeting, seminar, or any important activity, we can all practice deep breathing, because this deep breathing sometimes reset our nervous system from sympathetic nervous system to parasympathetic nervous system. And this is the reason why people say that take some deep breathings or take some deep breaths when you panic, or when you are under anxiety. Okay. So this is one thing that we all can do. We can cultivate some practices which help regulate our nervous system. Like I told you, mild exercise, mindfulness, meditation, yoga, tai chi, qigong, deep breathing, even music also plays a vital role, because any relaxing music, uh, you know, um, takes us to this parasympathetic mode, and it's one of my favorite practice. Most of the time, I just play a music and I take a nap. And the main theory is, uh, if you want to get into the parasympathetic nervous system mode, your sensory and your neurological input has to be minimum. Okay, then only the body will get into the parasympathetic nervous system mode. So any sensory input, like you are watching a video, you are listening, you are tasting something, you are smelling something, so all the sensory input should be minimum. It cannot be that there will not be any sensation or any sensory input, and also the neurological input should be minimum. Like, at the back of your mind you are not calculating something, at the back of your mind you are not comparing something, at the back of your mind you are not evaluating something. And when um, we have this less sensory input and neurological input, naturally our body goes into the relaxed mode, or rest mode, we can say. So apart from this, any positive experience, like you're feeling sad, or maybe you had a bad day, or maybe um, anything happened, and you don't feel good, you just play a comedy video. Okay, maybe some comedy movie, and just watching for 10 minutes videos, or 10 minutes, maybe Charlie Chaplin or Laurel and Hardy. That was very old time. Nowadays there are many different kind of comedy movies and artists, maybe Mr. Bean, or some other artist. So you just had a 10 minutes full of belly laugh, or you just started laughing like anything. That also reinforces your PNS. So any positive energy also leads to PNS, parasympathetic nervous system. So this is one way to activate. The second way is to understanding our triggers. So we all get triggered, but our triggers are different. Um, so we need to be aware, and we need to be cognizant about our triggers. And when we are triggered, we need to recognize that yes, we are being triggered. Okay, this cognizance, this awareness, this realization will help a lot. Okay, so whenever we are being triggered, we need to be aware that okay, we have been triggered. Now we need to just take a pause and breathe, not reacting to someone or to something immediately. So in many situations, we just need to increase the duration of the pause, because when we are increasing the duration of the pause, the brain and the body is coming back to the natural state, where it will have the capacity to decide something in a more mindful manner, in a more thoughtful manner. But it does not happen when we are under stress, when we are being triggered. So what we need to do, we just need to remain silent, take a breath, do some breathing, and increase the amount of pause, because when we are increasing, we are giving our brain the time to getting back into the natural state. Instead of reacting, doing something out of impulse, saying something on someone's face, or snapping someone, we are just being silent. And that is why many people say that when you are angry, be silent, otherwise some bad words will come out from your mouth, and maybe we might regret later on that why did I say that, I should not have said that. Or when we are angry or when we are emotional, we should not have taken any decision, because that time the brain is not in PNS mode. The brain is in sympathetic mode, which is the survival mode. And in the survival mode, the brain does not have many choices. It just focuses on the immediate threat and immediate survival. So we need to give our brain some time to come back to the natural state where brain can function properly. So understanding our triggers is another important thing, and recognizing that we are being triggered, and then take a pause, do some breathing, take some deep breaths, and trying to be calm. And over time, we can train our system, or we can train our brain to respond in a different way. It will not happen in one day, it will take time. But over time, if we keep on doing this thing, we will train our brain to respond differently in this kind of situation. So this is the second way that we can do to activate our parasympathetic nervous system. The third thing, okay, the third thing is working with our emotions and feelings. And we all know that when we go through good experiences, we have good feelings, we have good energy, and when we go through, sad situations or stressful situations or overwhelming situations, then we experience negative feelings or negative emotions. So we need to create boundaries. Even when we are working in an office, we need to create boundaries, or maybe in any kind of friendship, any kind of relationship, in any kind of situation, we need to create healthy boundaries so that we don't experience burnout. Like in many offices, people work for long hours, not only in USA, even in India as well. I am from India, so in India also there are many offices where people have to work for long hours. So and there are many places where they have to tolerate a toxic manager, or a toxic boss, a toxic supervisor. So we need to create some boundaries, because when we will be faced with those kind of experiences, definitely we will not be able to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, because we'll be under stress, under some emotional storm, some anger, some resentment. So we need to think about the situation which makes us feel good, and we need to avoid the situations where we do not get any positive experience. So and that is why it's really important to choosing the right circle. Like there is a saying, we are the average of 5 people I spend time with, you spend time with. So the choosing the right circle is very important, where we experience the nurturing environment, right? The positive environment where we can learn from each other, where people are helpful, where people are kind and compassionate, and they are always willing to help you out. And that is what the good thing about Second Life and this whole brain health. I'm really glad to be part of this community, and where we are always learning from each other. So it's not only Second Life, even in real life also we need to choose our circle wisely. We need to find out like which kind of experience, which kind of relationship, which kind of friendship, which kind of office, which kind of company is actually good for our mental health. So that is the third thing that we can do to regulate our parasympathetic nervous system. So that is what I wanted to discuss today. Now I have 5 minutes if you want to share something, if you want to give any feedback, if you got bored in the session, then also you let me know, so that I can improvise myself and I can make it more interesting and make it more enjoyable. Because I believe that if you are enjoying, then you are learning. If you are having fun, then you are learning. I don't want to be a boring facilitator, so anything is welcome. Any question, sharing your experience, and anything, because I also learn from you. So I have a 5 minutes. I can discuss some of the question that you might ask. Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Liz, for telling. Yeah. Yes, lady, you can ask question.
Hello and thank you.
Yeah, lady,
When
tell me.
I'm leading a mindfulness meditation and we focus on our breathing, I remind people to observe their body. When they're angry, we have a natural response to let out a breath. If we can regulate that, be mindful of the way we're breathing in our situations. When we're excited, we taking a deep breath like that. So I try to encourage that they not just be aware while they're doing mindfulness meditation, but to be aware even after they leave of the way they're breathing, to do as much as they can to stay in an even state. I'm done.
Yeah. You mean body scanning mindfulness, right, lady? You wanted to mean body scanning yeah. Body scanning mindfulness is a wonderful form of mindfulness, and you all can practice, and it has amazing benefits, mainly for those people who don't feel, those suffer from insomnia, or maybe after getting into bed they stay awake for a long time, and then they finally take mobile phone and fidget their fingers and start watching videos, and then it disrupt their sleep more. So we all can practice body scanning mindfulness. Even on YouTube there are some videos available for guided body scanning mindfulness. And body scanning mindfulness is a little bit different than JPMR is a different, like progressive muscle relaxation, and body scanning mindfulness is a different thing. So yes, thank you so much, lady, for sharing your experience about body scanning mindfulness. Great. Okay, anyone else would like to share something? Acha, Helena said this is a good reminder of activities I need to be doing every day so I don't stress. Yeah, exactly. See, stress is not only mental or psychological, stress is also physical, right? So when we rewire our brain, when we put our body into the natural state of relaxation, when we do something which makes this the neurotransmitter into our brain, like dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin, boost those feel good hormones, or neurotransmitter, then automatically stress goes down. So stress is very much a biological phenomena or physical phenomena, and not only mental and emotional, but it manifests in the mental plane and emotional plane, but it's basically starts from our body, and vice versa, because our body and our mind is intertwined. They are connected in a very profound way, and we knew it. In the ancient traditions, it has been said again and again, and now in the modern science we are seeing this connection, like placebo effects, epigenetics, and all the uh, psychosomatic disorders and research are talking about this, the profound connection between our body and mind. Yeah, any other question? Thank you so much, Helena, for your reflection. Okay, if there are no other question, I think we can close it. And later on also, if you have any question, you can ask me. We have a Discord channel. You can add yourself in the Discord channel. Let me share the YouTube channel that we have, and we record all the session and we put it there, so you can check it if you are not able to, attend. Okay, I think I have given the YouTube channel link also. You may feel you may go there and check some of the recorded session. And thank you so much for coming and making this session more vibrant. And next Sunday again we shall come at 11 a.m. Second Life time, and we will discuss some new topic related to mental health, emotional health, and how we can be better and not bitter. Okay, bye for now. Take care, everyone, and namaste. Bye for now.